This is Reel of Fortune, the ultimate movie challenge. Devin and Tyrone each pick a movie at random and dive into their thrilling and unpredictable reviews. Brace yourself for a whirlwind of cinematic surprises as we uncover hidden gems, revisit classics, and navigate the vast world of streaming movies. Welcome to Reel of Fortune.
Yes, that is the game where we pick two films, one for me and one for Devin, and we put it on the chance of a coin flip. First, what we do, we pick out the IMDb scores, and then we pick out the streaming services. So if you want to play along next time, get in the comments and let us know what genre you want so we can pick it for you.
But for this game, we're adding a new element, and that is the red coin. If one of us picks the red coin, game's over, and we have to watch a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie.
It may get crazy when things start to roll.
Red coin goes in now.
Lord Jesus.
So now let's pick the genre. We had some really good suggestions for genres. B-Rock Productions, he wanted a horror film, so we're gonna put that on the wheel. Mars DK88, he was interested in crime, so we're gonna have crime on there. Wild Fungus, they wanted comedy, okay? And this guy, I still don't know how to pronounce your name, dude, so my bad. He wanted, right? He also wanted horror, so hey, double chances at getting a horror. We're gonna put that on the wheel, we're gonna pick the genre. You ready, Tyrone?
I'm ready.
And the winner is B-Rock Productions, and he wanted horror, so we're gonna watch a horror film. Now let's pick Tyrone's movie. First, the streaming service. Let's see. HBO Max.
Max.
And now we're gonna pick the IMDb score. Check it out. And don't forget the red dot's in there. Tyrone's is any IMDb score. Okay. So we have HBO Max, any IMDb score, horror genre. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Tyrone's pick is Young Frankenstein.
Oh my God! My boss just talked about this film last week.
Young Frankenstein!
Life, you hear me? Give my creation life!
Sky means business.
An American grandson of the infamous scientist, struggling to prove that his grandfather was not insane, as people believe, is invited to Transylvania, where he discovers the process that reanimates a body. Fun. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a horror comedy, so it's still horror.
True. It's still horror.
Now it's time for me to pick Devin's film. And we're going to start off with the streaming service. Let's go.
Let's do it. Honestly, I'm hoping for HBO Max too, but we'll see.
Any,
okay. All right.
Any.
Lots of any's this game.
Now we're going to do the IMDb score.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Less than 5.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Less than 5.
We're gonna wish we got that red coin now. Oh my God. Any streaming service, less than 5. IMDb score. Let's see what we get. My pick is going to be Maneater.
What is that?
Oh my God!
By the way, this is a 3 IMDb score. So, yeah, this might be a doozy. After an accident during their vacations on a paradisiac, I guess like Paradise Island, okay, a group of friends is stalked by a large shark. That sounds very much like Jaws. It looks like the ass version of Jaws.
So we are purposely putting Maneater on the dumpster fire, and then we're gonna put Young Frankenstein on the anvil.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Come on, Young Frankenstein. Come on.
I gotta do it again.
Okay. All right.
All right. Ready? Woo! Young Frankenstein.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
My heart was beating.
Reason I had to do it again is because it got in between my fingers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Boy, that was luck.
My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh!
This is a parody of the original 1940s or 30s, 40s Frankenstein film. This young Frankenstein, the grandson of the original Frankenstein, he's also a doctor too, except he thinks his grandfather was a quack. He's like, look, that shit didn't work, okay? He was crazy. I don't want to be associated with him. He doesn't even call himself Frankenstein. He calls himself Frankenstein.
I have one question, Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
And he's like, it's not me. And as the movie goes on, he becomes essentially his grandfather.
After seeing this film, this still is not my favorite Mel Brooks film. My favorite Mel Brooks film is Robin Hood Men in Tights, and followed by Spaceballs.
Not Blazing Saddles?
No.
Okay.
I have to go back and watch Blazing Saddles again.
Okay.
Because everyone's been telling me I need to watch Blazing Saddles again.
That's wild.
But I was laughing, man. There was some funny parts in this for me.
For me, I gotta say, man, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really laugh much, which I was kind of surprised about. I love Mel Brooks and I love Gene Wilder, and I felt like I was really keyed up to start laughing. But the type of comedy in the film, it felt like a type of comedy that has a kind of aged out of fashion, right? It's kind of comedy where it's like you get a bit a minute, like you get a joke every second, rapid fire.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
3 syllables. First syllable sounds like
Head! Sounds like head! Bed! Said!
It comes out so fast that sometimes you miss jokes, right? Like you're like, what? Oh, that was a joke. Like for example, there's like a little joke where the main character, he gets off the train, Igor's there, and he's like, walk this way.
walk this way. This way.
So you're like, oh man, like the jokes come out so fast. Like they don't even really give you a second to digest any of these jokes, which I know for some people they love that style, but for me, I felt it felt a bit old fashioned, which I hate to say that about Mel Brooks.
No, that's fine.
The structure probably really helps with multiple viewings. I bet you watched it the second time. It's a completely different film than the first time you watched it. So I can see why people really enjoyed this film.
It's fine because my boss was talking about Young Frankenstein, and then all of a sudden, fate chose it. But he was talking about a scene in this film that he was like, "You put an abnormal brain in there," and that scene was kind of funny because it reminded me of what he said.
Young Frankenstein tasks Igor with getting the brain of a genius. He wants to get this great brain to go inside Frankenstein's body. And Igor, you think, oh, he's going to fuck this up somehow. But Igor, no, he gets right there. He checks his notes. He's like, I got it. I got the right thing. Ha-ha. And then he trips and drops and shatters the brain all over the floor. He's like,
because he got startled by the lightning.
Right. And he's like, I'm just gonna grab this one, And it says abnormal, but Igor can't really read that great, and so he thought it said Abby normal.
Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in?
Abby someone.
Abby someone. Abby who?
Abby normal.
I do understand about how the jokes are flying so fast, and then you're like old-fashioned. I hate to call my boss old-fashioned, but he is old. So, Mike, you old, okay? And you love these jokes.
And then hard cut, Tyrone's been fired. Just kidding.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
I don't know.
When Igor is like getting the back, you have the space that he has his beautiful assistant back there, played by Terry Greer. I don't know who that woman is. She's like 70-something years old now, but she was fine back then. She was fine back in the day, boy. And but they were going up the hill here, and they get to the castle, and then there's like a maid or a house keeper there, and when they said her name was Blucher or whatever, the horses would always get scared.
Right.
I am Frau Blucher.
Thunder would go, and the horse was like,
This is my assistant, Inga. May I present Frau Blucher?
Every single time. It don't matter where, if they're outside, in the house.
After you, Frau Blucher.
I love running jokes.
And there's a lot of them in this film.
Good night, Herr Doctor.
Good night, Frau Blucher.
The running joke with the assistant is like how hot she is, right?
Hello. Would you like to have a roll in the hay? It's fun. Roll in the hay.
When we meet her, Igor's like knocking on the door, and he's like, "Those are some great knockers.
Those are huge. They're huge actual knockers on the door."
What knockers?
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Like you said, there's a lot of like running jokes throughout the film. There's another guy who's got a wooden arm, and so he's got to control the arm with his hand, And so it's pretty funny, and that keeps going on until the very end where they use his arm as like a battering ram to get into the castle, But again, as someone who has grown up watching a lot of these Mel Brooks comedies, and for some reason I'd missed this one. I feel like this one, for me, I know this is a classic. I feel like I think I agree with you. This one to me isn't among my favorite.
It was an interesting choice to have this film in black and white, because I guess Mel Brooks was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to pay homage the correct way, the original one. Yeah. From the set to the townsfolk to the actual creature that was played by Peter Boyle, it looked very similar to the original film. So, and there was some interesting, really cool shots to me and camera angles that Mel was doing, like when they're in the laboratory, the shots where it was angles that was pointing up, where you could see the body go up with him and then coming down, and the camera was panning down. That was really interesting. I feel that what they were trying to say with this film, which is kind of what the original film was trying to say, that you can't judge a book by its cover, to say that this person is a monster just by looking at this person. After the body was reanimated, he was a klutz, he was dumb, he wanted to go out and see the world and stuff like that, and the world was not nice to him. I thought that the whole interaction between the blind man and him, which was played by Gene Hackman, by the way, that was hilarious, man. He was trying to pour him soup, and he was couldn't get it. The Frankenstein monster got busy with Frankenstein's fiance, and she was snooty anyway. She wasn't giving him no play.
My sweet love.
The hair. Just been said.
Sorry.
She wasn't into himself, but when she got a hold of Frankenstein, because not only was his body big, his
extremities were big.
So Frankenstein actually grows to like him, and he says, I'm gonna make you a person who can understand language, who can talk and stuff like that, so people won't be afraid of you. I thought that was really cool when they did the brain transfer, and he was like, put him down. I was like,
That's really funny.
I said put that man down!
Because the transfer actually helped, where he took a little bit of his intellect and transferred it to the monster.
The brain transfer also transferred some length to the original Frankenstein,
which was funny. It's funny.
Right. At first, I was like, oh, is Dr. Frankenstein gonna be inside Frankenstein's monster? But no, he just kind of transferred some intellect, and then Frankenstein's monster transferred a few inches. A little bit of length, a little bit of girth.
You can stop now. Gene Wilder, man. This movie came out 3 years before he did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You can see why he was casted in that film, because he is so charismatic. He was so energetic. He was so just out there and crazy. He knows how to put a little crazy and charm together in his characters.
Right. His Willy Wonka was so unpredictable. You really don't know what he's going to do from one scene to the next, right?
Like I said, it's not my favorite Mel Brooks film, but I am appreciative of what he did here. From watching this, I'm going to have to give it a B.
Yeah, I found this one to be hard to rate. I'm going to give it a B too. But like you said, this is not my favorite Mel Brooks film. I mean, you could almost pick just about anything from Mel Brooks's filmography and find some absolute gems in there. So for that alone, I think this movie might be worth it. Also, the fact that this is a parody and a homage to the original Frankenstein, and it is done quite lovingly. Like, it looks very authentic to my eye anyway. But for me, I hate to say it, a lot of the comedy didn't really do much for me. But comedy is very subjective, and just because I don't think something's funny doesn't mean you won't think it's funny, or vice versa. So I think this is a very interesting watch, especially from a modern perspective, and it wasn't at all what I was expecting at all.
But do you recommend people to see it if they haven't seen it?
I recommend you watch pretty much anything by Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is the man. He is awesome. He is a classic. You know his name for a reason. But I don't think this is probably the best example of what Mel Brooks can do. I think Blazing Saddles to me is the best Mel Brooks film. So I would recommend something like that. But this one, I gotta say, if you want to know the genius of Mel Brooks, I'm not sure if this is the first one you should gravitate towards.
I agree with you. I do say you should watch Mel Brooks if you haven't seen any of his films that he's written or directed,
or starred in. Like the man
starred in
the shit.
Yeah. I would say go down the rabbit hole. Spaceballs, the History Part 1,
History of the World.
History of the World. Yeah, it's just genius comedy writing, man. But more importantly, do you recommend this film? Have you seen Young Frankenstein? Please get in the comments and let us know.
Don't miss Young Frankenstein, personally directed by Mel Blazing Saddles Brooks.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you guys. Our subscriber count is going up. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. We are at the halfway point. Please help us get there. Please, if you're new to seeing us, hit that subscribe button right at the bottom, all right? And if you did like this rating and review of this film, please hit that thumbs up, because it really does help out the channel. Or you get the thumbs down. Whichever you choose, it is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. See you guys in another video.
It's a lie!
I knew it!
I was trying to beat you.
You trying to beat me?